A woman is in a store. She takes something out of her mouth and changes the price of one of the products in the store. She then takes this product and goes to the counter. An employee sees this and follows her. The woman then says she would take that bag and the attendant tells her the price. She then takes the money from her purse and hands it to the clerk. The attendant said that money was missing, but the woman points out that that was the price. The attendant says that wasn't the price she had posted earlier. The woman said that it didn't matter to her, she would pay the price that was written on the paper. The attendant says that the woman only needed to pay what she had said, because the price that was on the product was wrong. The woman said that if there was another price on the product, it was not her problem. She said she would pay what was in the product, and if the attendant wanted her to pay more, she would call her husband, who was a lawyer. The woman then says to call her husband, but the attendant says that that was not necessary and that they could solve it. She then asks as an attendant, she wanted to solve that, and the attendant says she could do it for that price. She then thanks the attendant and leaves the store. As she was leaving, the employee stops her and says the floor was wet. She tells the woman to wait a bit, as she could end up falling and ruining the store's reputation. The woman says she would look at other pieces in the meantime, and the employee says that's fine. The employee then goes to the attendant and says that the woman was changing the prices of the products. Attendant asks what she was talking about, and the employee says she had seen the woman change product labels earlier. The attendant tells the employee to stop with those stories, because the woman's husband was a very famous lawyer. The employee tells the attendant to believe her, but the attendant tells her to stop with those stories and that the woman would not do something like that having a lawyer husband. She then tells her to run and go back to work and stop it. The employee then returns to work. Meanwhile, the woman is still in the store. She came a product with a label. She takes off the store tag and replaces it with one she had hidden. The employee, seeing that, interrupts her and asks if she needed any help. The woman said she didn't ask for help, and the employee says that if she needed anything, she could call her. The woman then takes the clothes and goes to the fitting room. She then puts on the outfit and looks at herself in the mirror. The attendant then asks if she liked the blouse, and she says yes. She then asks if the attendant had other colors of that blouse. The attendant says yes, and that she would look for it in her stock. The employee then says that she saw what the woman had done and that it was theft. The woman said that she was crazy and that she had never seen her before. The employee says she saw what the woman had done. She said she saw the woman touching all the labels on the products she had taken. The woman then says that that was absurd, and the employee said she would call the police on her. The attendant then arrives and asks what was going on there. The clerk then says that the woman was robbing the store. The woman then said that it was a defamation and that she would call her husband. Attendant said that that would not be necessary and said that he would solve it with her. The employee, then, does not know what to say. She then sees that the bag the woman had just bought was on top of a shelf and has an idea. Later, the woman was trying on other clothes and both say it looked really good on her. She said she liked it a lot, because that was her favorite color. The employee then asks if the woman would want to take other items. She said she would want to take it. She then asks to hand over her purse, as she would make the payment. At that moment, the employee ends up opening the bag and the tags fall to the floor. The woman then apologizes for running. Then it says that she had never had money to buy such an expensive outfit. Attendant then asks what they came to do with the woman, and the employee said she had an idea of what to do. The attendant said she would call the police, but the clerk tells her to wait a bit. Sometime later, the attendant goes to the store and asks how the employee was doing. She said it was fine and that she had been working there for a long time, so she knew the price of everything. The attendant then asks how the woman was doing. The employee says that she was going slowly, but that she was learning to work there. Attendant says she hoped the woman had learned her lesson. She says what she did wasn't right. Attendant then says he was very proud of the employee and says she had a very good heart. She then said that she needed to go and resolve some matters and tells the employee to give the woman directions. The employee then asks if the woman needed anything. She said she didn't need anything and thanks the employee again. She said that if it wasn't for her, she would be in jail. She said she didn't need to thank her and asks the woman to make an effort to be a better person. She then said if the woman needed anything she could call her.